I thought I'd record myself doing this week's Gamified earnings mission. It's here, live updates. I have to scroll back a little bit. I think it was on May the 4th, May 5th. Yeah, this one, week 5 missions. You have to plant a tree in at least one property in 5 different cities and plant at least 1 rose on any property in 5 different cities. At least 1 rose on any property in 5 different cities. Okay, so those are the 2 things that I have to do. I have planted some things already in Vegas, so I'll just ignore that. So I have to plant 1 tree in 5 different cities and 1 rose in 5 different cities. I have created a couple of little extensions for the Chrome browser, which I will be using, so you can see how that goes. One of them is available in the Chrome store if you would like to use it, and the other one is not. I may or may not push the other one to the store. Upland has been pushing out a lot of updates, and I'm not sure how long my other utility or tool would last. Like it may become obsolete very quickly. It's not difficult to get something into the Chrome store, but I don't want to do that if no one's going to be using it. Anyway, so right now I was going to buy some seeds to begin with. I have some, but I was just looking at what the prices are for seeds at the moment, and the lowest price low to high, is for boxwood at the moment, and it's 288.75 UPX. Everything else is a little bit higher than that. Doesn't take long before it gets to 1,000 UPX or $1. Right now, the price for generating a seed, I'll just pick this one, is 9.32 sparklet, which is kind of high. A lot of the time it's done around 4 something. I've seen it as low as 2 point something, but people are often against using their sparklet to generate seeds, because it takes effort to buy sparklet, and it's not free, obviously. You have to use real money. Or you can generate it using your weekly logins or treasure hunting. So in that case, those 2 ways are free, but the amount you get is almost nothing. It takes you a week to generate 10 sparklet, essentially. So you could generate 1 seed at this price every week, which is quite a bit. But if you were to look at the actual USD price for 9.32 is 22 cents for 1 seed. And like I said, if I were to purchase them, let's just go here. Like to purchase a seed is 630 UPX, which is just equivalent to 60 cents or 63 cents. So it's cheaper for me to generate a seed than it is to, even at 9.32, it's cheaper to generate a seed than it is to purchase one. And most of the time I want to get lawn grass. Like right now, I do not have enough grass. I'd like to get more, but a lot of people are hogging it. They're not selling it. I'd like it. Obviously, everybody wants to plant a lot of grass, and there's not a lot of it available. So every chance that I get, as long as the price is, like I said, it's 9.32 is still 22 cents. So it's cheap and reasonably, like 22 cents for a seed is still kind of ridiculous, but anyway, so if I generate a seed, it's going to cost me 9.32 sparklet. And what did I get? I got an oil palm tree. That's the thing I want the least, actually. I don't like palm trees, but whatever. Oh, there's a grass. I'll do a couple I don't really need anything, but every chance I get, I try. Was it new? The calla lilies are new. Um, every chance I get, I usually generate some seeds because, like I said, I'm trying to get as much grass as possible. I'll do a couple more. This is pretty boring to watch, but like I said, it's at some point. I think people will start generating um, more and more seeds because they want to make their properties look good. Well, I've gotten quite a bit of grass, so I'll leave it at that. And now I have to plant uh, 5 roses and 5 trees on different properties in different cities. Now I have this utility that I've created, which is called the Upland clipboard. It's a clipboard manager, and what it does is allow you to copy addresses from the Upland game and store them in memory. And there's 5 rows here that I can store addresses on. I'll show you how that works. I'm going to pick, let's just go Bakersfield. Oh, it's raining. I didn't know they'd added rain. This is a new thing. So as you see, this property has nothing on it at the moment except for a marker which tells people that I have a low landing fee. It's for treasure hunters. And now you can see in this window, you can't copy the address. I'd like to, because this is where I'd like to plant a tree and a rose. But I would have to normally either write this down or memorize it to be able to go to the assets screen to plug it into the place where I want to plant the seed. But as you can see up here, my little clipboard has found this address on this little property card. And I've recently changed this. I haven't pushed this to the store yet, but I found that in some places, and I'll show you this in a little bit, that Upland wants just the street address, and sometimes it wants the street address and the state or the city or the country, depends on where it is. So sometimes it wants what's before the comma, and sometimes it wants what's after the comma as well. So I've added an extra button, and the save just saves the street address. The save plus saves the street address plus whatever is after the comma. And like I said, sometimes that's the state, sometimes it's a city, sometimes it's a country. If I want to get rid of that, I can. If the idea is that I need 5 addresses to plant my plants on, so I'm going to use these 5 rows as the places I'm going to plant. So that's one is in Bakersfield. I'm going to go 1 in Fresno. I'm just picking these randomly. And again, it's seeing this address and it's labeled here. So I'm going to save that one. And then I'll go to Santa Clara. I don't have very many properties in Santa Clara anymore. I used to have a bunch, but I've sold them all. I need to put a marker here too. Is that the lowest price? Yes, it is. Okay, good. I need to put a marker here to alert people to this lowest price as well. So 1725, again, it's up here. I'm going to save that. So that's 3 addresses now in 3 different cities. And I'll put one in San Francisco. Let's pick this one. And again, it's showing up here. Save that. And I need one more in another city. I'm going to go a little bit further north and go to Seattle. And put one here as well. Okay, so now, like I said, I've got 5 different addresses. And now all I have to do is put trees and roses on them. So now the thing is, we go to the seeds thing, and now I would want to plant a tree in on all of these addresses, and a rose on all of those addresses. I'm going to use I think I have a bunch of red roses. I'm just going to use another site, which is called Upland. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, Upland allows you to see if you're signed in, and you can see over here that I am signed in. My portfolio, my inventory will show me how many seeds I have and which ones I have. So the mission is to plant roses. Now, yellow roses, I only have 2. Pink roses, I have 6. Red roses, I have 8. And it looks like that's all the roses. So red roses are the ones I'm going to use, and just to make it easier. I'm not really fond of roses at all, so I don't care. But anyways, back to this. If I were to choose red rose, you'd see that I have the option to choose red tulips or red roses. So if I really want to narrow it down, I'd have to press red rose, and now that's all that shows up in the list. I'm showing you this for a reason, but if I plant the first one in the list, it's then going to ask me for an address. And if I choose the first one on the list, and I just this is where the address is going to go. If I push paste, the P button here, you'll see straight away it shows me that address that I had saved. So I don't have to remember or have written it down, and I don't have to enter it. It's already there. The thing is that if this was in, let's say it was in Fresno, I can't remember if it's I think it was in Bakersfield, but as soon as I put the comma there, you'll see that the address that I was able to select is now gone. So in this case, Upland is looking for just the street address, not the street address and Bakersfield, as you can see here. It's only looking for the item that's in blue, and the rest of it doesn't matter. And so then I would select this, and then I would then be taken to that address, and now you can see here that this is the red rose that I'm going to plant. I'm not going to do this because I want to show you the other thing that I have. I'll back right out of that. Now I've created this other extension called, which I'm just calling it the auto planter, but the idea is that it will allow players to automatically plant, not automatically plant things, but automatically step through the first few ridiculous clicking that we have to do to actually plant the seed. And I'll go through it over and over again so you can see, but I have to do this. I could have to do this 10 times if they wanted us to plant trees and roses on different properties. Luckily, they don't care. It's this time you're only really putting them on 5 properties, not 10. But so the first thing I'm going to do is the red rose, like if I could learn how to spell or type. And the property I want to plant it on is this one. So I'm gonna copy this, and I need to make this persistent, but so I'm just gonna push Control V to paste it there. These are, you can copy them and paste into these rows. And the P here really only pastes it into the Upland thing. It won't paste it into my extension yet. I may change that, I may not, it just depends. I've got this set up to do different speeds of how fast and slow this little extension works. And for now, I'll go slow so you can see what's happening. But when I press, like, the idea is that, that's weird, it didn't save it. I'll have to change that. So this is the address and the item that I wanted to plant. And so now you'll see that when I push auto plant seed, it's going to do all of the stepping for me. I don't have to push any buttons. I'll raise my hand so you can see that I'm not doing anything. So auto plant seed in this address, and it's the red rose. So, and like I said, I'm not doing anything. This is all happening automatically. It's chosen red rose. It's now looking for the address. It's found the address, and it's put it there. Now it's waiting for me to do my thing, which is to move it to wherever I want it to go. And I'm not concerned about this rose at all, so that's where it's gonna go. Okay, so now you'll see that we've jumped right back to the beginning, essentially, where I now have this same screen where I have to go through, if I want to plant another one, if I was doing it manually, I'd have to click here, scroll over, click seeds, type in the thing that I want. Well, actually I want to plant a tree here now. I'm just going to plant tree. Maple tree, and then I would push plant, and then I'd have to do the address again, and so on. So it's every single one of these. I have to do all of this twice for each property, and this is why I wanted to speed this up. Is the I think what I'll do is I'll plant all the roses first and then do all the trees. It's not really going to make that much difference, but I've already got red rose listed here, so the next thing is the just to jump between properties. And so I'll put that there. Now I'm just going to push auto plant seed, and it's going to go to that address and let me plant a rose. And again, I don't have to touch the screen. It's doing all the work. So this is the next place. Just going to drag that over there. So in Fresno, at that address that I had said, it's now planted another rose. And now I'm going to go to the next address. Again, I'm copying that. I'm going to paste that in here. And I'm going to press auto plant seed. And again, not touching the mouse or the keyboard. And it's doing all the work. And this one's in Santa Clara. And now I can paste that there. And that one's done. Now, the next one was in San Francisco. And I'll just paste that there. And go auto plant seed. And again, not touching the screen. not touching the mouse, I mean. And now I'm in San Francisco. And the last one. Like I said, I've got this running at slow speed. The extension can be sped up, but there's a limit to the speed at which it can run at. It's dependent upon your internet connection. The extension isn't waiting for something to happen. It's waiting for a certain amount of time to have gone by. And that's what the speed is in the extension. When I have this little slider, this is like 1 second between operations, and then this is 0.75, and this is like 0.5, and then all the way down here is like 0.2 seconds. So if your internet connection is not quick, it may fail because it's not waiting long enough for Upland to send you the next screen. So for me, I've found that the fastest I can go is fast. If I do it very fast, it fails. And but that's because of my internet speed. So if I were to, like we were on slow, if I were to pick it up to normal, it'll run a little bit quicker, but not a lot quicker. But it'll still work from tests I've done before. And so now I've planted roses on all 5 of these. Now I need to plant trees, and I was going to seeds I have. What trees? I think maple trees are the ones I have the most of. I'll just go back to Uplytics and see what my inventory seeds. What trees do I have the most of? I have 19 palm trees. I have 9 maple trees, 19 magnolia trees, 7 weeping willows, 18 pine trees. I don't think we can plant all of these yet. I think the only 2 trees we can plant are palm trees and maple trees. I'm gonna try, yeah. If I type in tree, it should let me know. Oil tree, maple tree. Oh, magnolia trees we can plant too. Weeping willows, no, sorry, we can't plant those. Just palm trees and maple trees at the moment. So I'm gonna plant maple trees. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna plant oil palm trees. So I need to write that in here. I was going to make this a drop-down list, but Upland has said that there will be a lot of different types of plants, and so having a long list would mean I would need to update the list all the time. This isn't linked to Upland in any way. This is just on my browser. So it's not gathering information at all from my account. I'm not a developer, so I'm not able to do that anyway. But so I'm just going to go back and do this the same way. I think that made it disappear. Yeah, it did. Oil palm tree. Now, if I spell that wrong, it will error out. It needs to find the exact thing. I think I could just put oil in there and it'll still find it, but or even palm for that matter. But I'm going to put the entire thing in. I'm going to bump it up to normal speed, like I said, and we're going for the very first address again. So autoplant seed. It's going through the stuff for me again. I'm not doing this. Yeah, it found oil palm tree. It found the address. And now I'm here trying to put the tree in place. That's good enough. Now I'm gonna go okay. And I'm gonna do the second one, which is this one. And again, like this is, for me, this is far simpler than having to remember everything and type it in. It's not really cheating, it's just simplifying. And so it's for old people who don't want to think anymore. So now this one, oops, that's going to the same property. I forgot to change the property. So we'll back out of this. I copied it but didn't paste it. And now 24th Avenue. Somehow remember to paste it there. And the last one, which is in Seattle. And so that mission is done. All of the things are planted and, you know, Bob's my uncle. The other thing that I have developed for this, and I just finished this morning, so I'm not entirely sure if it's working perfectly or not. We're going to just test it out now and see if it does. Is the when you want to feed your plants, you have to go to the assets menu and then you go to plants, and then you can like often these are red if you've waited an entire day. You don't have to feed the ones that are gray, and I don't think feed all do feeds the gray ones. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It only feeds the green ones and the red ones. So if your button is green or red, this button automatically feeds those. So this is the thing that a lot of players had said, this needs to be sped up. It needs to be easier to find this. I mean, it's only a couple of clicks really to get here, and then it's, you know, relatively simplified. But it would be easier if it were over here. Like I think one of the ninjas has said that they would like to see it like right here, so that you just open up your profile and click on it right away, and it feeds your plants. I get that. I mean, this is a decent place for it to be, and I can understand that will be something that's relatively easy for Upland to do. If that is going to happen, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen pretty quick. So I don't think this button that I've just created is going to be useful for very long. I've made it just to see if I could do it, basically, but all it's doing, the one that was the auto plant seeds button is doing essentially the same as feed all plants button does, except like it automatically clicks the three buttons, then it automatically clicks the asset button, then it scrolls over to plants, clicks that button, and then clicks the feed all do button. And you'll see it do it. And I've got it to feed all do, and then there's a little window that pops up and says, are you sure you want to feed your plants? And it clicks that button, and then it says your plants have been fed, and then you click out of that, and then you click out of this whole assets window. So when it's done, and like I said, I haven't tested this yet because I needed to have feed buttons for it to push, for you to see what it does. But if it works, we should end up back at this screen with my plants having been fed. So I'll do that now. I'm just going to close this window. And so in theory, when I push this button, in a few seconds, my plants will have been fed. And I'm going to turn this down to very slow so you can see what's going on. And again, once I click this button, I'm not touching the mouse. So now it should scroll over to plants. It's going to click the feed all do. It should click the check mark, and it didn't. So, oh, maybe it did. Yeah, it says the action timed out. So it did cancel out of it. So let's see what happened. Yeah, it didn't do it, but it's like this is kind of a tricky thing for the browser to do. The buttons aren't called anything; they're just a location on the screen. So it's trying to find this check mark on the screen is essentially what's happening, and this time around it failed. So I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more. But the idea is that you would press the I'm going to do this now. The idea is that you would just click on the extension, click feed all plants, and it would do it. You would do all the little button clicking by itself. It's essentially the same number of steps as if you were to click this and then click that in theory. So maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But like I said, it's likely that Upland will do that for us fairly quickly, so I'm not really concerned about that button working or not. There are other, like the whole planting thing. I like the idea of planting, but I don't like the way it is at the moment. It's very tedious, and I'm pretty sure Upland knows that they have to improve that. Otherwise, we're all gonna get kind of cranky. But well, I think we all like the results of the planting, like the trees and the grass and everything. It makes the game look a little nicer. It's just tiring that it takes so long to do it. But anyways, that was me doing a mission, and it's Monday right now, and we have to have them done by tomorrow morning. So I am now done. Thanks for watching, and I'll be doing more of these.